right, it is now time for raising funds for World Domination, day number 248. So, for today's update, there's still no updates on the presumed appeal of the LTB ruling. Oh yeah, you can now buy a couple sponsored block types if you want from the Shopify Store. I added I added 4 more block types to the online store. And otherwise, I guess we will continue with the terminal block mining game development. So, and I guess today I worked on merged some stuff in for the block mining game, and then I researched what new types of things I should add. There's actually a lot of work involved in actually trying to Google and research the right like accurate minerals to match them with find out cast numbers and stuff. So I'll have to find a more scalable way of doing that. I need to. That's another thing. I need to add eventually just a faster way to add new block types, because eventually I'll probably have like thousands. Right, let's make sure it works. So yesterday I fixed a bug where it was constantly reloading one of the blocks in the world. All right, looks good. I can select stuff. Yeah. Oh, I made a sale, I think 2 days ago. There's the most recently purchased new block type for Verstite, however you say that. Did you get pull your project? Is there not a local copy? I actually just I merge it in and I push it often. Usually like after I merge the changes in, I'll pull a new copy from the public facing Git repo. So that just helps to like it's an extra step to make sure that I'm working on the copy that is actually on that other people would see, so that way I can verify that it's not somehow working locally but broken on the public facing one. Right, the game basically works. Okay, probably maybe the next thing I'll work on is I really need a way to input stuff. So yeah, I guess I can work on that. Makes sense. In case you did commit from, say, a different machine, like your laptop. Yeah, it's I guess there's any number of possible reasons. It's like the possibility of like I forgot to merge something in, or because another possibility is like if dependencies are not specified sometimes. Like if there's a case if I accidentally remove a requirement for a dependency that was already downloaded locally or something. I guess with the Maven repo that wouldn't necessarily. Well, I think you could dream up scenarios where like there's a dependency gets deleted or something, and just helps to go through one extra step to verify that it's working. Television J3H says / / Honestly, I think I'm going to adopt this strategy, if you could call it that. Yeah, I think for certain kinds of so I actually my main like the whole block mining game, I have it in a like originally I had it in, well, the multiplayer code and some other stuff. Like I kind of forked it off some other projects that I had before, so that I have like in another repo on my main machine. And so what I had been doing for a while is I just had like a script to take whatever like for whatever I had done last night on stream, I would if that work was any good, I would just copy it over. And sometimes like when I'm on stream, I'll usually just commit fast with like a bad, like some, everything I do on stream is like throwaway commits, and then after I go over and look at what I did. And so sometimes the stuff I do on stream, I just throw it away. So it's not my usual. Like whenever I've worked on a project somewhere, I usually just commit directly to that and then merge into their master. Why Paran Robert? What does that mean? Vildia? I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to communicate. What do you mean by world domination? That's a good question. I have a video. There's a link in the description that has details on my plans. confido sign. If I have no experience, then I cannot be picky with which job offers I get. Well, you can be picky, but it just means you may pass on some good opportunities and then find out you don't get the one you want. I guess it depends how picky. Like if you're getting job offers that are totally unrelated to what you do, then it depends on your career ambitions and stuff, because you could potentially get like your initial experience. You are likely to get jobs in the future that you will get picked for jobs in the future based on your past experience. So if you get hired as like a parking attendant, but you're trying to become a machine learning developer, then you're gonna, you may apply to a bunch of jobs, and then you're gonna get more parking attendant jobs. So they'll be like, oh, you have experience in that. Elliot off the grid. Happy Sunday. Don't forget, you're the man. Oh, thank you. I did almost forget. It's kind of tired today. Was just about to try out Rust, and then everyone got mad at it. Everyone at your workplace? What you sipping on? This is Earl Grey tea. Is your Shopify accurate? Are the dies still available if I'm interested? Seems like a cool gift. Yeah, I thought so too, but I basically make no sales of them. Yeah, they're definitely available. I did a stream a little while ago where I packaged some more up. I'd hope that maybe some of the other videos I did of like die shots and stuff would maybe pick up a bit, but it's just it's not enough views to generate any sales. And then also I went to a bunch of work to like try and make the Shopify site look nice, so it would get approved. I got suspended by Google Merchant Center, so if for misrepresentation, which is some like vague thing, if you don't have enough information that they like or something, if you're like, at first my like shipping policy was not, I had an inconsistency in it, so I changed the shipping policy and then I went through 3 iterations of that, appealing it, and they still, my shop's not good enough, so I can't get my products listed on YouTube. Shopify does look nice. Some neat products. Google doesn't think so. Kids will like the fridge magnets too. Very reasonable prices. Nice. Yeah, I was actually I haven't made any sales in like at all in like a month, so I wasn't sure if I'd actually, if I do end up making, I think I have like maybe 2 more of the fridge magnets packs. If I sell more than that, then I'll actually have to order some more from the manufacturer and like process them and stuff. Which, personally, I think I have like $50 Canadian on that. In my opinion, that's quite expensive. But they're actually quite a bit of work to chop up all the magnets. I have to buy them in strips, and then I have a cutter thing to cut them up. Keep up the good work. Hope you have a good night. Thank you. And thank you for your business. Obonos dia free? I don't know. I have no opinion. I don't know what you're saying. You gotta speak English. Otherwise, I'm gonna ban you. So you could say bad things, and I wouldn't know about it. Happy Sunday, Rump. Google Super Splat. I'm sure you'll like the works there. Super Splat. Never heard of that. I'm sure you'll like the works there. I'll if I remember to, I will. Actually, that reminds me. Someone told me to Google something yesterday, and I didn't. Miss Jess says, "Yo, how's it going?" People put their Gaussian splat results there publicly. Got some awesome stuff. Oh yeah, I remember that conversation from last night. It's looking okay so far. Now something I'll have to add a new feature for. Yeah, so historically, I would just move the cursor back to 0, 0 to put it out of the way. But if I want to have input areas, then I'll have to have something to smartly put it to remember. I'll have to have another message for setting the cursor position to be inside the input field. Television. Can you speak in English? I don't know what you're saying. Something about GitHub. GitHub Uma Untera. I don't know, I'm trying to guess, but I can't figure it out. URL for the GitHub, it should be in the description. Should be down below. So I guess what we'll have to do, every frame will have a remembered cursor position, so it'll just set its own. So if it's null, then the cursor just gets set up to the corner, and if it's something not null, then it'll get set to whatever. Your video about navigating different groups to resolve your housing was very interesting. Yeah, I hope some people take something away from it. It's a pretty specific it's a pretty specific situation, but it's the kind of thing that, in a way, it's kind of like a very boring 2-hour video, but I think there's a lot of learnings in there about the state of society in general, and just, I don't know, there's lots of things that could work a lot better. And I guess from the outside, most people would think that the most difficult part of dealing with this situation is like the legal aspect and the landlord, but it's all like the chaos with just disorganization and other people and trying to get together a group of people on short notice. I think it's also the kind of thing that there's probably not very many people who would bother taking the time to like document the minutiae of so many boring details. Navigating disinformation, trying to work out what landlord might be trying to achieve. Yeah, there's a lot of like, I don't know if historically that kind of like pressure to like stop the spread of misinformation, I guess that kind of started with COVID. People, a certain type of person got super crazy about you can't speculate on anything because that's spreading conspiracy theories. Legal stuff is always complicated, expensive, scary. Yeah, honestly, this was honestly not expensive. I didn't spend anything. I was actually thinking about maybe spending a bit, but to get one, but I didn't have the time. And the not knowing factor is, I'd say, like right now, so we won the case, and then I won the case on the 14th of October, and then I think it was November 12th. They put a thing, I'm sitting here, minding my own business, and then I don't know if you watched the end of the video. I thought that was relevant to include, of like the the psychology of like staring at, of like constantly looking at that mail slot, and then I think it was 8 p.m. I heard the distinctive ding sound of the mail slot. I go over to it, and there's they put in a thing that said they're appealing the case to divisional court. And so I don't have a case for that yet, and it's just like it's a waiting game. Like, when will I hear something about it? And like, what if I miss the communication, and then it gets like appealed, and like, if I'm not in the loop or something, and then they proceed with the eviction process or something, or if they do, assuming I presumably I will get some kind of official notice. Like I think usually the parties involved will be required to serve you with notice, and then the court also makes an attempt to send notice to you. So I'll probably get a couple of notices. And I think there's some more stuff about like I think someone said they're going to send a factum or something, which is going to have more details about their appeal. It's also scary. You said about how comment about how the mail slot was weaponized by the opposing lawyer, and then you were blamed by that other president. Yeah, I guess I'm not sure if that was super clear, but basically the key was some of the tenants didn't get the compensation checks in time, and there was trying to make an argument that they never distributed them, and so some tenants had some testimony, and their position was that like they never even tried to send out the mail checks. But then I volunteered my testimony, basically just to have an additional reason to like undermine the idea that they properly serve them, because service of documents is like very important formal process of the legal process. And if they don't serve it correctly, if they serve it like if they just if let's say they throw it on the ground outside your door, that's not a reasonable way to serve it, because there's no expectation. Like if you don't go out for a few days, like older people probably don't even go out that much. If they don't go out for 5 or 6 days, then that mail could be lost. And then of course it's like the tenants don't really understand legal formalities. But I think he kind of I think he was kind of trying to insinuate that like he was calling me friend on purpose to probably set the tenants off. But whatever, they lost, so that's all that matters. If Ram 5311 says hi 4 times, hello. Okay, that might be close to doing what I want. Even that anger you got from your neighbor, no need for that. Yeah, there's I don't know, the extra dimension of dealing with personalities is also pretty annoying. There's and it's annoying because there's certain tenants who like they did specific things that were helpful, so it's like they were trying to be pro-social. And then there's other specific things the same person did that was just like, why would you do that? That's so antisocial. But Whatever happens. I think the most difficult part of it is over. And then, if the appeal is lost, then, oh well. I can abandon Ontario. All right, that might do what I want. Y equals get X. Yeah, that was wrong. I think I fixed that. Have a good night. Yeah, rent is expensive. Although it seems like here in Canada it's going down a little bit for the first bit in a while, and the whole rental system, housing system in general is getting pretty. Things are going down a bit, I think. All right, that might actually be almost working. Cursor disappears. Not sure where it's going though. Oh, I gotta translate that to be relative to the frame. Have any ambitions to own your own place? Yeah, I mean the whole life plan was to start my business and then make a bunch of money. And my perception was that every year I would make more money. Things would get easier over time, but it hasn't quite worked out that way. Every year I work more, I work harder, and revenue has basically just been flat. I got up to around $30,000 probably within the first couple of years of business, and then even this year revenue is still $30,000. I've never been able to. I think I broken like a little bit, but and currently all revenue goes toward rent, and revenue has gone down quite a bit in the last couple months. It was very down in October, and then in November it went up to like 2,600. And this month it's way down again. So I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what the future holds. I think the plan may be to just abandon Ontario entirely and go back and my parents have some land back there, so I may just abandon. Like, there's kind of a convergence of factors up here that make it it doesn't seem. I expected I'd like set down more roots and build more connections here and stuff, but I've been here, over 10 years, and that hasn't happened. But pre-COVID, I used to get out a bit more, but then it was kind of just before COVID. That's when I had a client that stuck me for 20 grand, and then it was, I think that was a really stressful experience. And then I think it was about just after that I was like, okay, it's time to just put this behind me and move on. And then COVID happened, and then the world collapsed again. Right, that has to be set to use the offset of the frame. Creating your own business so hard. I'm trying to do it myself. Used to be freelance, contract software dev. It all collapsed 2023. So I got a full-time role. Yeah, it really does seem like it collapsed. It was kind of there was a lot of suspicions or kind of intuitions I had about the industry where it's like, this seems completely insane. And it was back then it was I could say okay, well, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's something I just need to try harder. I had bad luck or whatever. And then kind of in 2023, I think just a lot of trends and stuff that I observed seem to have actually been vindicated. Lots and lots of just wasteful money and SaaS products and all the Silicon Valley nonsense. that compiles, that should be what I want. How do you decide what to work on? Do you mean within this project, or in life in general, or like in my business ambitions in general? I guess in life in general, I guess I could start with like my my core convictions about what I am trying to accomplish with my life. I think technology is awesome, and it can provide profound benefits to humanity. There's a lot of potential for that, although unfortunately it's not. A lot of that potential has not been realized. I think by early on in life, my goals were a bit more like, I like the idea of being like a Renaissance man, of like, studied all the famous physicists and stuff, and had like idealistic ambitions about, discovering new mathematical techniques, or inventing new programs, or just I think a lot of academics have that ambition, so that's why I came in this whole trajectory to study software engineering. Eventually, I kind of settled on the idea that the highest leverage position is like teaching educational things. If I had found traction and money, I probably would have actually built products and stuff. I thought it'd be interesting to do like electrical engineering stuff, or even just when I started my business, I thought I would eventually land one client, and that would lead to some growth and revenue, and then I could build out products and stuff. That never happened though. The only thing that I actually got any traction on was I had been doing a lot of blogging, and then I started doing video production. And the videos, I had quite a few blog posts that got viral, and then the viral videos that I had got like 10 times more impressions than the blogs, and it kind of seemed like social media was going that way. So then it, in terms of business, it's just been a process of doubling down on whatever makes money, because you have to get money, or else you don't survive. And I like the idea of having some kind of specific mission, a North Star, that I can kind of dive a lot of work into. So that's why I've been working on this block mining game concept. I think it's a concept where the more work I pour into it, the more it is, the more incrementally sellable it is as a concept. And if I can just generate like a trickle of revenue from selling like the sponsored block types. If you check out the Shopify store, I added some new block types today if you want to buy a sponsored block type. And I think the connection between this and the terminal-based stuff, like the process of building a 3D, like something like Minecraft, there's a lot more UI in that. But with just pure terminal stuff, that I think intersects. It's first of all, it's unique. I don't think anyone has built a very intense terminal-based game before. But also this, it's consistent with the theme of other, the Linux commands and stuff and terminal applications. So yeah, I guess it's kind of just been like a gradual process of I do something and then something makes money and then I'm like, well, that worked. That achieved some growth, so I just keep chasing the growth. But it's difficult though because it's very inconsistent. And like there's a lot of whiplash with YouTube. I'll put a lot of work into stuff and then it just doesn't do well. And then other stuff that I don't put as much work into does very well. Personally, I'm a big fan of the CLI. Yeah, I think that's also a reason why CLI, making a CLI application is I think the people who really like the CLI really like it. It's just such a pleasant type of interface to work with. Have you read what are your thoughts on Lean Startup? Oh, actually, I have have you seen the video where I mentioned the Lean Startup book? I think it's I published it 2 or 3 videos ago. I think the title is called, The Surprising Reason Businesses Fail. And in that video is, I basically do a review of that book. And the punchline is that I read, I don't know, 75% of it. And the lean startup mentality, in my opinion, doesn't really work that well, or it's like not relevant anymore because the barrier to entry is so much higher now, and the difficulty of getting a statistically significant enough amount of data to actually learn on is way higher. And I gave some more examples and stuff in that video. Okay, what's going on? Coordinate vector is not applicable. I've sworn I watched that video, but might have missed it. Yeah, the real challenge is like, in that video I talked about, if you have no conviction on anything and you just do like pure lean startup from scratch, then but you'll find it like let's say let's sell t-shirts and water bottles. So you can like set up this basic page like that Shopify store. I put quite a bit of work into that. And I have like probably, I don't know, in the last whatever days, like 400,000 views on my channel. And for almost a 1 month period, I made 0 sales in the store. And I have it on top of every live stream. And I mentioned it a bunch of times at the start of every live stream. So there's like, there's impressions on it, but it just takes a lot of to get any amount of data. And like, if I was to say which product on my store is selling really well to double down on, I have like 3 data points or something. even with my channel size and stuff. So it's just very, that's not enough data. Like if the cost benefit analysis of if I let's say I pick one of the products that I sold a couple units of, I could waste massive amounts of time doubling down on that product when it ends up being just an irrelevant time sink. All right, does it work? Look at that. That's exactly what I wanted. Go to that frame, cursor's up there. Nice. So now I can actually implement a text input area with an actual cursor. All right, that's a good place to leave it for tonight. Got a little bit of work done, and I guess we'll be back tomorrow night for, I think it'll be day 249. All right, have a good night, guys.